Greetings and welcome to a presentation on the Ivanti Neurons Digital Experience Solution. My name is Everett Carnahan. I've been with Ivanti for about 8 years now, came in through the Sharewell acquisition. I've been in the IT service management space since, about 96. Anyway, so time is short. We've got a lot to cover, and so we'll jump right into it. As we all know, our world has changed. Things are never going to go back to how they were before the pandemic. And the everywhere workplace is more important than ever before. As we all adjust to these changes, business organizations are also adjusting and functioning with new business models, changing culture, and constantly evolving technologies. Many are faced with major security concerns as well as growing complexity. For example, a survey went out and 76% of CIOs claim that they will be basically unable to manage their digital transformation efficiently due to tech complexity. Only 34% of respondents say they will be able to support all remote and hybrid work needs in the next 2 years with the current capabilities, and 1 in 5 say they need to improve in order to meet today's remote workforce needs. It's clear that IT teams must increase their maturity across multiple areas in order to compete in a forever changed and increasingly competitive environment. The problem is many technology organizations have no idea how to quantify and optimize that experience. And as we've all heard over the years, you can't really improve anything if you can't measure it. With Ivanti's unique focus on security, unified endpoint management, and IT security management, we feel that we are uniquely qualified to address this challenge. In this webinar, we will be covering how the Ivanti Neurons for Digital Experience solution will enable your organization to effectively measure and proactively optimize the experience of your employees and help them and get this basically through their devices and applications that they rely on for work. So first off, it all starts with a thorough and accurate understanding of your organization's hardware and software estate. Ivanti's self-electing patented passive discovery solution guarantees that every device that accesses your network is detected and recorded. That's followed up by a thorough, deep, active, scheduled scan of all of these devices. Next, devices are normalized, reconciled, and deduplicated, and are now ready to be reviewed within the Ivanti Neurons UI, or data can be pushed off to your favorite CMDB of choice, and we of course, recommend the Ivanti IT Service Management CMDB. With the many available connectors, our discovered data can be augmented with additional data, such as Dell warranty. Let's go get those connectors right here. I'll show you those Dell warranty connector and the others. So we are now logged into the Ivanti Neurons solution, and we can see our connectors here. And so we can augment our data with additional information such as the Dell warranty, CDW, purchasing information, or AD or Azure. And as you can see, there are a number of available connectors. Once we have all of our data aggregated, deduplicated, reconciled, normalized, we can view this data right here. A deep detail about each user is available here through this icon. Will take you to all the user data. This icon takes us to all the device data. We can drill into these and get a great deal of information on the discovered devices. We'll do that in a moment. We can see keyboard information, basically peripherals, memory, motherboard, and other types of detailed information on all of the devices in our network. As I mentioned, we'll get back to that in just a minute. I wanted to first go through and look at one component of the Ivanti Neurons for digital experience, and that is the smart advisors. So with user and device information in place, we can start to leverage the AI and machine learning technology and neurons to extract insights and be more proactive with our efforts to improve our users' experience. So we're going to look at the smart advisors. These enable us to quickly gather aggregate intelligence and monitor usage, performance, and security data from all of the devices and applications without disrupting our employees' productivity. I like this one here. We'll start by looking at the reimage or replace. Now this one offers recommendations as to whether devices should be updated or simply replaced based on the criteria listed below here. We can drill to the data, and then we can also export this data. Another smart advisor that I really like is the device stability. We can use this device stability to determine what are our worst performing devices based on the amount of system failures, boot degradation issues, and also application errors. As you can see, there are a number of other smart advisors here for basically that focus on other areas like boot degradation. We can view free disk space, installed memory, and it pulls this information from these devices and this information will help us to be able to understand what is impacting our users. Now, next we can layer on real-time ops visibility with our edge intelligence capability. And edge intelligence is or uses, let's go right here, edge intelligence. So edge intelligence uses MQTT. For those who weren't familiar with this, which I wasn't when I first heard it, it is message queuing telemetry transport. So it's just a method of accessing information on devices real time and pulling that information back near instantaneously. Of course, it does depend on the amount of data within your estate. So these sensors are used to gather real-time intelligence and report the information on a large scale. So as you can see, we're presented the information about our entire estate throughout the globe here in this example, and we can see the data below. The natural language processing engine allows us to collect large amounts of data on thousands of devices very quickly. So we can type in here, for example, show me battery health. We'll use language processing to present and pull the information real time from the devices. And what we want to look at here is we want to look at the ones that are having issues. So we've just got one that is having issues, and its battery is actually quite bad. So with this information, we can then set up our remediation actions, we can drill into the PC and actually go in and create a service ticket for this. Let's go back and look at edge intelligence again, some other areas that will help us. So besides the natural language processing, we can also toggle by selecting these numbers here and get right to some predefined queries. So these are broken down into three categories of security, health, and inventory. There are high-level dashboards in each of these, and then there are intricate, detailed dashboards down below. But for example, if we choose security, here it goes. It builds out these dashboards and gives me a set of dashboards that I can use to ascertain the situation regarding my security standing across multiple areas. If you're not familiar with things like BitLocker, there is a little eye icon that you can select that will give you information about what you're actually viewing. You can see this one here, antivirus. This is checking to see that the graph says right there, the graph shows the status of the active antivirus components. And so we can drill into these and get intricate information on these devices, on the specific devices that make up this data. But we can also go in and select, for example, this icon here, which will then change it to a graph from the graph to the listing of devices. And this information we can then use to drill in and get specific information about these devices and again, set up another remediation action. Well, so for example, let's go back to our list of items here. And if I were noticing that, or people were complaining about performance issues, I could log in here and select log on performance. This lets us quickly spot devices that are having slow performance issues. We can drill down into this by selecting the red selection here. Drilling further, we can see and verify if this is simply a one-off issue or maybe it's a frequent occurrence. We can drill on the session counts and get good sample data below that. And drilling down on these dates, on the various dates of the boot up instances, we can go in and evaluate the session details. Again, we can toggle between the graphical representation of the login process, or we can go in and look at the actual start duration times of each of these components of the login process. And again, with this information, we can then start to formulate or ideas on how to resolve some of these issues. Another area we may wish to look at in relationship to this is we may wish to go look at the applications that are being affected, that are affecting our startup process. So we have startup items we can go look at and view which ones are greatly impacting our users. So we can use all of this information and these searches to be able to get great detail and help us better to understand how to adjust and improve processes that may be negatively impacting our users. So another area I want to cover here, and it's probably, in my opinion, the far more effective, the first place I would go, and that is we want to now go and look at the recently added DEX score. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring up our assets and use a little use case here. Let's say that we are the administrator for the IT administrator for the San Francisco office. So with our list, we can create groups, and I've created a group for the San Francisco devices. So these are all the ones that we manage. Now, if we want to look for a specific one, we can come over here and do a specific search. So looking at this list, we can spot devices that have troubling digital experience scores. And you'll see the digital experience score here. We can sort these, and we can see that we've got a few that are having issues. So let's select one that's having an issue. So this scoring system, as you see right here, is, let me back up a little bit. So what you're looking at now, let me put the actions away. We'll get back to those in a second. What we're looking at now is the detail of this particular device in our San Francisco office. We see some general information. Here is our digital experience score, which I'll come back to in just a second. We've got service management information, network management information. We've got great details about this particular device. And I'll show those details in a second on another device that has actually a sampled item that's got a little bit more data. But this particular one, let's talk about the digital experience score right here. So the first page here gives us an example of the score, and the scoring system, it's actually representative of a rich digital experience across key aspects of the IT functions, such as device insights. Let's drill down and we can get some specific details. So we've got information around device insights, security insights, application insights, and then service management insights. So the device insights gives us data insight into memory, things such as memory, storage, system failures, processor speed, warranty, and end of life. And you'll see that the two warnings we have are around end of life and a warranty. So the warranty is completely out and it's near the end of life. Now, if we can toggle here, if we do toggle here to the normal phase items, we can see what's actually running well. Now, if we toggle back, we can see the things that are being flagged. Under security insights, this pulls in incidents from your IT service management solution, and it uses a pre-trained sentiment analysis model to evaluate customer mood based on the content in the incident subject and description field. Application insights, I don't have any here. I have no problems there, but if we look at the normal, we can see that based upon standard, the average of the solution, these are what is occurring, and it's considered to be within the norm. Nothing falls outside of the norm. But then under service management, we find we've got a lot of people who are, or this individual has submitted a lot of tickets and is not very satisfied with the response. So with this information, it aggregates a digital experience score. And with this information also, we can do some more research and dig deeper into some of the issues, and also set up service tickets to go in and reestablish warranty or replace the item. So let me do a little quick change here to one of our other San Francisco office items, one that's got a great deal more data, sample data for us in our demo. And this is Adele. Adele owns this PC, and we see, as I mentioned, we can see the user. We can get approximate location information. Her digital experience score is actually quite good. And on the left-hand side, we have got a lot of functions that will help us to be able to ascertain why someone may be having poor performance issues. So first off, we have performance. And this will provide us information around some of the basic services and processes. Now, under services, we can come in here as an analyst. We can come in here and we can actually stop a service or start a service as needed. We can also skip down to the network console where we can do a net stat. We can do a ping. Let's see, Google ping. Against that, we can get information immediately back. We can also do a net stat, IP config. Now, this is all transparent to the end user. They have no idea we're doing this, so we can troubleshoot this and investigate this without bothering our users. We can perform edge intelligence queries right here as well, specifically to this one device. We can see free disk space, memory usage. These are all predefined searches that we can do and pull back that information so we can get some intelligence on this device and help us to troubleshoot it. We can also see software that's licensable and all software that's installed. Patches here, if you have and are making use of the add-on. When I say add-on, it's a separate module that you license. With this, you'll be able to get patch information. I don't have it installed here, but you can get patch information. It's as well as we have another add-on for software. So what this software does is it gives you deep details on usage, warranty, and helps you define where you can save resources, financial resources on purchases, and you may be overbuying, you may be underbuying. It collects all that information and presents that. And then I did mention we're going to look at the details real quick. So you can see the depth of information that's returned. We've got information on peripherals, as you see here, keyboards and mice. We've got storage, we have memory. Information is pulled back on the motherboard, so very deep, rich information to help you to troubleshoot the device. And lastly, I would just want to cover real quick the history. So this pulls over your event information. So if you are trying to troubleshoot, you can correlate times with reported issues. Now let's focus on the right side actions. So on this right side of each of these profiles, these device profiles, let's go back to the overview, are a set of actions. There are standard actions like create an incident, update an incident, execute a script. You can run an agentless remote control in conjunction with the employee. You can run an agent-based remote control. You can remove a device, and you can also reboot. Now, these are available based upon your permissions, based on your group. Now, the actions below, the custom actions, are unique to Ivanti and are extremely powerful. These are where basically in my opinion, some of the real powerful capabilities of the Ivanti Neurons platform shine. These are context-sensitive diagnostic and remediation bots These here are initiated by the analyst. These bots empower us as level 1 analysts to perform functions that are normally escalated to be resolved by level 2 and level 3 folks. So some examples, we can create, as you can see here, we can create or delete profiles. We can reset windows. We can perform a quick inventory scan. We can run a disk cleanup if they're complaining about running out of or slow performance. Maybe a disk clean will help pick up some memory or some disk space, We can throttle processes. Anyway, there's a whole number of items here that can be done. These bots can be designed to run in the background without disrupting the device user, or they can interact with the users through Teams. Also a pop-up message or through email so you can interact to gather additional data, or an approval to perform various remediation actions. There may be some that are a little invasive and the end user may not want them done quite then, so you can interact with them. These are built using Ivanti Neurons' low-code, no-code, AI-driven drag-and-drop automation platform. We can easily customize these bots to analyze and troubleshoot various use cases. So let's take a few minutes and go over and look at how to create these and how we can use Ivanti's hyperautomation to help to analyze, troubleshoot, and remediate. So we select the icon here, and you'll see two areas. The workspace actions, these are the bots that the analysts run. And then these are the fully automated, what we call hyper-automation bots. So let's go look at those. So these healing bots enable organizations to auto-detect and correct issues before the employees notice or submit an incident to the support team. So these bots run on a schedule, and they run against a defined set of devices, and they monitor for potential issues ranging from, say, disk capacity issues to other things such as memory problems. You can do also synthetic testing, as you see here. You can run monthly surveys. You can do many different things. We want to look at this one here as an example. This one has 15 steps in it. You can see the net number of stages. Some are very, very simple. Some are a little more involved. This one is a beast. This one has 72 stages within it. This is a survey. It sends it out periodically to the end users and asks them questions about performance and how things are going. So let's look at this particular one right here, this disk clean. This bot checks the availability of disk space, and if it drops below a defined threshold, right here is our threshold is set, it will do a disk clean. At any time, you can view the runs of these and check what was actually cleaned up. So let's select, and you can check what was cleaned out by selecting the action, and then coming down to view action details, run the success, and you can see all the files that were removed. Let's go back to that and take a look at a little bit how that was constructed. We do a quick edit neurons action right here. We can go and see this neurons action right here. Give it makes a little space. We can see that it goes through and checks, and if it hits its goal, it will run to the left, and if it does not hit the goal, it will run to the right. So this is a decision point right here. The filter status, as you see right here, checks and then interacts with the team, has a Teams interaction then that goes out and asks the user various questions. If they want to do a further disk clean, if they want to create a ticket, if they want to remove items from the downloads folder, and so on. So this is how they're created. You drag and drop. Actually, if we do it real fast, we can do this in 30 seconds or less. If we go back to our neurons for healings to create to create a new neuron, you just simply hit the create neurons button. We come over here and we'll say let me just grab anything, disk encryption. We'll grab our disk encryption and then define the parameters on the left. If you need information about what exactly this thing does, you hit stage information, the question mark there, it'll give you information. And then, well, I'll just drag over disk clean. So this is your check action, and this is your actual process action. And this particular one will clean up files that are 7 days old. We can change that date. To connect them, you just simply select the connector here, drag it down, and now we've got a process. And we can add additional information such as the Teams additional interactions, such as the Teams interaction. So this is how simple it is to create these bots. And then you simply, to finish them up, we'll give it a name, set up a schedule, and then define what devices we want this to run against. These schedule bots can also, as I mentioned, can interact with end users through either Teams, email, or pop-up messages. These self-healing bots are an incredibly powerful method for resolving issues before they become a serious problem for your employees. And that's what we refer to within Ivanti as hyper-automation. Finally, as a wrap, Ivanti Neurons for Digital Experience allows you to, or ensures that you can secure access and protections against cyber threats without compromising your employees' flexibility to work from anywhere. It also helps you aggregate and monitor usage, performance, and security data from all of the devices and applications your employees rely on in their everywhere workspace. You can surface potential IT and security issues, make recommendations on actions to remediate, self-heal, and improve the digital experience of your employees. And finally, you can hyper-automate and improve digital experience through self-healing bots. Thank you all for joining today. And please let us know if we can help you improve your digital experience. Please, if you have any questions, label or list those in the Q&A, and I'll be happy to answer those. If you do have any questions, please reach out to us, and we'll be able to answer those for you. I hope you we're able to see the powerful capabilities of the Ivanti neurons for digital employee experience and how they can help you to improve that digital experience of your employees. So thank you very much, and I appreciate the opportunity to present to you folks today.